Hey everyone, it's Fred here from Hillians Bricks and I hope you're well. Now recently you might have seen in my last video that I was preparing for a brick festival in Maidstone. Now we are now Monday the 24th of April and 2 days ago we had the brick festival. So here's a recap of our visit to the Maidstone Brick Festival. Now after the initial footage that I'm going to be sharing with you, I'm going to share all the findings that I had and my learnings from this experience. But yeah, enjoy seeing some footage from the actual day.
Hi guys!
Hey everyone, it's Fred here at the mill and we've just arrived at Maidstone, just unloaded the car and so far it looks pretty good. I'll show you inside what it looks like, but here's the leisure centre. Got about 12-13 boxes and a lot of these plastic ones as well, and we're just going to go set up, but I'll show you before we set up what it actually looks like so you can know what to expect. But yeah, it took us just over an hour to get here and we'll get cracking on setting it all up. This is what it's like when you arrive. I'll get it in a minute, so that's... Yeah.
A few moments later.
You right there, Mel?
Yeah.
Time is it now? 8:30?
Probably like 8:40.
So yeah, got the list of... 4:30 now, and Emil's absolutely shattered. It has been absolutely manic, busy as anything. Lots of items have sold. This is what we've got left. Some of the big sets didn't sell, but in general, lots of stuff has sold. No chance. So there you had my visit to a brick festival in Maidstone. So what did I think of it? Well, first of all, I absolutely loved it, and it's not because it was successful from a sales perspective. I absolutely just loved being there, just the whole first time experience. But the biggest thing that I loved was the fact that I got to meet lots of people, either people that, you know, people who know me from my YouTube channel, people who know me from the Discord, or also people, you know, who are also other traders, and just generally day-to-day people, everybody that's there that loves Lego, right? So that was really nice. I also found that there's a great camaraderie amongst the other people, either the builders or the sellers, or people who you're around with. Everybody was like willing to help. You know, they had a great guy behind me. His name was Raf. He's a Polish guy. He was you know, super friendly. We had lots of fun conversations all about Lego and bricklink and things like that. And you know, sometimes if you needed like a toilet break, I was covering for his stand, and vice versa. So it was really nice that, you know, people are looking out for each other, and you know, generally it made me feel like, you know, the Lego community is so great. Even though I already knew that through the Discord, you know, to see that in person and feeling it like that was even better. So that was really, really good. And I've got to meet a few of the people from the YouTube who are following me as well, and people from Discord. So always nice to see the people in real life and talk Lego, right? So as already mentioned, it was very, very busy. I was told by somebody who does this regularly that it's not always this busy, so don't expect it to be like that all the time. But it was manic. You could literally just people, crowds and crowds of people, like rows, everybody, all the aisles were like full. I've never seen anything like it. It was literally non-stop from 10 o'clock till the doors open, maybe till the last hour, till about 4 o'clock. It was very busy, and then in the last hour it died down. So, but yeah, by that time, you know, we were off our feet, and we are just quite happy for it to be calming down a bit. But yeah, it was a good venue. So the Maidstone Leisure Centre, I must say, it was really good. It had easy access for loading and unloading. Didn't have to go too far. I do know that because it was very busy, you know, people, when I went to get the Wi-Fi code just before open, went to the main hall, I could see there was a huge queue of people. Like, oh, this is going to be busy. But that also meant that there was a bit of an issue with parking. So lots of people commented to me like the parking had to go on the street everywhere randomly. So I think these festivals are growing in popularity, and suddenly, you know, the demand for people, the venue necessarily didn't accommodate for the parking, and I think that caused a bit of issues. Also a bit outside of town, but yeah, I think that is more from people who are going to visit these places. Yeah, think about the parking is usually an issue. Some other positives. I said I went to get the Wi-Fi code. Now, for some reason, the Wi-Fi code wouldn't register initially on my card reader. But my card reader was absolutely awesome. I did show you a previous video that I didn't go for the cheap version. I went for the one that had the built-in printer, even though I didn't need to use it. But I had also the Wi-Fi and the 3G and Bluetooth. Now the 3G kicked in without a problem. Now after about an hour, one of the organizers came around and said, "Do you need another Wi-Fi code? Because I'm hearing lots of people having issues." I'm like, no issues here. People are saying as other people had to wait for like a couple of minutes for every transaction to connect. For me, everything went as smooth as possible. Only in the last hour or so started things going a bit like not always 100%, but I think that was because the battery power started to die on my card reader. But I did have a battery pack, so I could recharge it, and then eventually I could connect it to the Wi-Fi, and then all problems were resolved again. So it's yeah, if you want to buy a card reader, don't go for the cheap option, would be my recommendation. I could have also connected it to my phone and connected that way, but I found 3G on the card reader was really good. Another thing that I learned is it's very important to be priced fairly, and as you will have seen in my prep video, I did a lot of work preparing for this Brick Festival. Really, I went on, you know, eBay prices, what the price is currently selling at, what are people willing to pay. And I find that I often had comments of people like, oh, these are things that are priced fairly, these are the kind of the market prices. And you know, just like you and me, if we go Lego shopping, you always go and check, is this the best deal, right? Is this thing, you see lots of people are just, you know, savvy enough to go look on their phone to see if you're going to rip people off or not. And as soon as you start ripping people off, you know, people are not going to want to connect with you, not going to buy from your stand. So be priced fairly, and then you'll end up selling, in my opinion. And I think that was probably part of my successes. Follow the market price and you'll be okay. Now, sometimes other stands will have the same sets as you, slightly cheaper, and then vice versa, you'll be cheaper than thing. But if you do the market price, you'll find that there's often not that much of a difference. So I did have the 1989 Batmobile. Now, that didn't sell. I had it priced at 450, and there was only other one place that had it as well, and they were literally opposite me. There's this huge stand, and they had it for 650. So, and even that didn't sell, obviously, at a higher price. But yeah, I find that if you price fairly, people will more than likely buy from you if they're looking for it. So there's also a whole mix of kind of people that go to it. So you have the real Lego enthusiasts who absolutely love Lego from all ages that are going there. So, but then you also have lots of families and kids. So you'll find that there's all different people looking for different sorts of things. And, you know, because there's lots of families and kids who are allowed to spend their pocket money or their allowance, you know, the smaller sets tend to do quite well in these sort of places. So one thing that surprised me as well is from looking at other traders is that it's not just retired sets. Lots of people are just buying actual live Lego sets at you know, recommended retail price there. So if you want to do retail arbitrage, that's another avenue that people might be looking at when they go to these events. So yeah, I was quite surprised by that. But yeah, I pretty much sold mostly all retired sets and gift for purchases. And then the thing that I found very interesting was why people actually buy Lego. Now, lots of people buy Lego because they love Lego, but then there's other few things where, you know, I got to, by speaking to some of the customers, then they're like willing to share why they're actually interested in buying something. So one lady, she wanted to buy one of the Chinese New Year sets, you know, the gift for purchase, one of the animals, and it wasn't the rabbit of this year, it was from a few years ago. And she said, oh, my daughter was born in this year, and it's her sign, you know, it's her animal for Chinese New Year, so I want to buy it because of that and have a momentum. I'm like, oh, fair enough, you know. So there's like, people buy Lego for sort of sentimental reasons almost, not just necessarily because they love building the Lego. And another one is this girl. She was one of the crew members that was helping set up and cleaning up afterwards for the Brick Festival event. So, and I saw her come around once, and she looked at the set, and you could see her toying and then she came back about a few hours later, and she saw the set was still there, and started talking to her, and she ended up buying my Speed Champions Mini Cooper set. And the reason behind was that because she actually has a red Mini Cooper who's in the car park. It was actually parked next to my car, and she said that she's probably going to get rid of the car soon, but she wants some sort of souvenir, and she never built Lego before, and so she ended up buying that set because purely had the red Mini Cooper in it. And she was talking about how could I customize it, because she wanted to have the Union Jack flag on top of the roof, because that's what she have on her. So there's probably all sorts of stickers, but there's even Union Jack tile elements that potentially could fit on that roof. So yeah, I gave her my business card as well. If she needs any help, she can always reach out to me as well. I told her that because I have a bricklink store, and there's various elements to probably make it fit onto that roof piece that she's looking for. But yeah, that was very interesting to see why people buy Lego. And by speaking to people, again, to me, that was what I really enjoyed, engaging with people, talking about Lego. In terms of what did I learn as well, so I did take a few learnings from this festival as well. When we start about minifigures, so I had some minifigures on sale as well, and let people just browse though. Literally the morning before I left, I had an idea of the night before. It's like, I need to print out a list of all the minifigures that I'm taking. So I had these little lists of all the minifigures and the quantities that I had of what I took, so people could just refer to it. Obviously things sold, but it helps people just to know what I brought in the first place, because there are so many people, you know, sometimes people are queuing and things like that. It helped people go through the list quicker, and they say, oh, you haven't got that minifigure, I'm not going to waste my time looking through this box, sort of thing. So but then it also helps, like, oh, I want this minifigure, oh, you got it, let's see if you still have it, and that sort of thing. People I think they really appreciated having a quick overview list of all the minifigures that you had. Star Wars, Marvel and CMF figures did well. Harry Potter not so much, and Speed Champions and Lego IDs, I'm not taking them again next time, because people have absolutely zero interest in them. So I don't think I sold a single one of those ones. But from the other Star Wars ones was pretty much rated. Marvel did okay as well, specific minifigures, and I only had the CMF Series 24, the newest one, with me. So yeah, people appreciated that as well. One thing that I learned as well, so if you've been watching Ian's Bricks, you know that he also wraps all the Lego sets into these clear bags, poly bags, and puts the sticker on it with the price and everything. Now, when I put the labels on it, I just put the number and the description and the price on it. One thing I did see and I kind of observed from a lot of people was that I didn't put whether it was new or unopened. I wasn't aware that people would be selling second-hand sets, for example. Quickly realized when I was there, you know, I was only going to ever sell new sets. But often people, because they saw it was wrapped into those bags, they kind of assumed that it wasn't a new set. So learning for next time is making sure that the labels have some sort of indicator to say this is a new and sealed set. So the one thing I might just do is stick another label onto the sets, saying in a different color, saying new and sealed, so something like that. And yeah, the reason why I do that is because I think the bags are a really good idea, because you will see so many times people just go around munching stuff, and all these kids are just grabbing stuff, and before you know it, you have like grease marks all over the boxes and things like that. So I really felt that it was really good to keep preserving the boxes as well, is to have it in those bags. So be it that sometimes people think that because it's in bags like that, it's not necessarily new. So I often had to reinforce, yeah, these are new sets. But yeah, overall, it was a very positive experience. Definitely worth my while. It was, you know, if you compare it to like Amazon or eBay fees for the tables, it was definitely much more cost efficient, I would say, from the fees that you're getting. Especially you can still get some eBay pricing levels, because that's pretty much what I based at. I sold a lot of my sets. I think I took over about 114 sets I took, and I think I sold about 80 of those sets. Now I didn't sell my big sets, unfortunately, but I can't complain for all the sets that went. So it's definitely worth my while. And yeah, it's not just because of it was, you know, a successful day. It's just I love spending the time with my son and meeting all these other people as well, and seeing all the displays and, you know, other Lego builders. And I can announce that I'm actually going to go to another one of these events, and the next one I'm going to be going to is on the 21st of May, which is a Sunday. I think it starts at 10 a.m. in Cheshunt, so I'll be in that venue as well, to clear up my inventory a bit more, because the one thing I also realized is I got much more stock than I thought. So it's a good way for me to go to these events to start clearing a bit and emptying my storage unit and my loft a bit. So I want to clear my loft and eventually have everything in my storage unit. But yeah, that's it for today. Let us know what you thought. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.